will admit that. Oh yeah, 20 billion years ago. Well, what was before that? Was there any time or space before there was matter? And where did this matter come from? They have a totally illogical theory. Yes, I think that it's logical to say in the beginning God instead of in the beginning, nothing, or in the beginning dirt, or in the beginning matter, They worship matter like the Christian worships God. There's no difference. They're both religious. I think ours is more logical and scientifically defensible, but they're both ultimately, in the final analysis, are simply religious theories. So the second law of thermodynamics, which is, as far as anybody knows, universally believed, as far as Newton's laws breaking down as you approach the speed of light, there's a lot of theories about that. There's also theories, there's an article in Discover magazine last year, April of 2003, that says Einstein was simply wrong, folks, okay? There's a large article in there. The speed of light is not a constant. So I don't think it's correct to say that we know for sure that these laws break down as we approach the speed of light. It may be true. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows would be my point. I cover quite a bit about the speed of light and evidences of it in the last 10 years, proofs actually, scientific experiments that say the speed of light is not a constant. I'll get you some of those here. If I can get, oh, no, sorry about that. See, I told you about asking the questions in the right order, didn't I? Remember that? Be a lot faster. The second law of thermodynamics says everything's falling apart. There's lots of stars out there. I mean, like billions and billions of stars. We don't have a clue how any one of them could form by chance. And yet, obviously, they're here. So the second law of thermodynamics, the Christian would predict that God created a universe, and we'll see things falling apart. The universe is winding down, okay? It's not getting better. And stars are blowing up. It's called a nova or a supernova if it's a big one. So yeah, we're losing things, and eventually the universe will experience what's called a heat death. Everything will be uniformly cold. And right now they look out in space and see this 3 degree Kelvin, minus 270 centigrade or minus 450 2.7, whatever it is, Fahrenheit. It's a universal temperature out there. It seems to be the same everywhere. And it seems to be this background noise, this radiation. Okay, that appears to be true. What does it prove? Oh, that proves the Big Bang. Oh, it doesn't prove the Big Bang. It doesn't prove the Big Bang at all. Nobody's for sure what's causing that. We are seeing stars appear to be drifting away, like the red shift, okay? There's not much question there's a red shift. The assumption is that maybe it's caused by the Doppler effect, but actually nobody knows what's causing the red shift. Even if it's true that it is stars drifting away or moving away, that would still beg the question of where did the energy come from to propel this thing? Where did the star itself come from? And I don't think we can prove positively that the red shift is proof of either great distances or that the universe that stars are moving away. They get the same thing with parallel motion or perpendicular motion to your line of sight. This guy said there was an early sign that red shifts indicate distance of galaxies. For quasars, however, the diagram shows a wide scatter in apparent brightness at every redshift. In fact, there is little correlation of brightness to redshift at all. Either quasars come in an extremely wide range of intrinsic luminosities, as most people believe, or their redshifts do not indicate distance. Sky and Telescope magazine 10 years ago. Thus, for us, the only conclusion can be drawn is that at least some quasars are relatively nearby, and a large fraction of their redshift is due to something other than expansion of the universe. Some people think redshift is for the Doppler effect from stars leaving. Maybe so. If it is, that's still an example of the second law. We see things get old, they die, they fall apart, and if their philosophy of life is you're only here to pass on your genes, that's the only reason you exist, eat, drink, and be merry, tomorrow we die, that's a pretty pessimistic worldview. I think there's a much better view than that. You were created in God's image with a purpose. It's true everything's falling apart. The heavens wax old. I'm getting old. Everything's falling apart. My car's falling apart. Everything falls apart. How did it get wound up? Where did the initial organization, energy, and intelligence come from? Information is consistently being lost. Every time your DNA replicates, the little pieces break off, and it's like split ends on a hair, and eventually you can only replicate it so many times, and it quits replicating, and you die. If we are a copy off of a copy, 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 off of a copy of Adam, it's amazing we can even stand here and talk about it, okay? The information must have been incredible in the original because it's been degrading ever since. That's the second law of thermodynamics. Everything is degrading. This building is degrading. If you don't have people constantly maintain this building, it will fall apart. The entire highway system in America will fall completely apart if we don't keep maintaining it. Every building on this planet will fall down into a pile of rubble if somebody doesn't keep fixing it. And even then, if they try desperately to keep fixing it, at some point it's still going to fall down. It's inevitable. That's the second law. So if you think that evolution can overcome that second law, I would like to understand how, okay? The second law tells us everything's falling apart, therefore, obviously, there must have been a beginning. I can answer that in 10 words. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That's a logical answer for me. You can have the rest of my time. All right.
Are we supposed to rebut this?
Can you do that?
I'll try. That's a mouthful, to say the least. First of all, the laws of thermodynamics are commonly called the laws of thermodynamics. People like to talk about the second law. Albert Einstein has said that the laws of thermodynamics are the only laws that will stand and never be overthrown forever. Stephen Hawking, a person who is believed to be one of the brightest men on the planet, has used the second law of thermodynamics to show the mechanism by which black holes have worked, which, you know, I think that's rather amazing. The opponent is saying truly diversity is a measure of the second law of thermodynamics, but let's don't badmouth it too muchly, because as the universe, as it exists, as we know it, it's the only one that can exist for us to exist to follow these particular principles. So therefore, you know, I'm very reluctant to say this is something that we want to have, to ask God to overthrow that. It seems to be the very thing that will make it possible for things to exist. Energy and how it got together, I don't know. But the fact that it is in a concentrated form that can go to a less deformed kind of, less concentrated form, and we can utilize when things go from hot places to cold places, and we did that when we drove our automobiles here today. You did this, you're driving around with an automobile that's 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit inside of that engine with the burning of gasoline. But you know, you don't have to have that inside of the car. Of course, you're surrounded by the 40 degrees or 50 degrees temperatures that you're driving through the atmosphere. The laws of thermodynamics are much misunderstood. I can look out across the class or the students here, and many of them are my students. And I can probably confess to the confusion that exists in thermodynamics. I probably contribute a great contribution to adding to that confusion. But what we have heard today are, and I've got to, I like to use colorful language, so I'm very careful, and I'm told I can't do that here, but I'm going to have to leave it with this, that I'm certainly glad I don't have to step in something.
Thank you. This question will be posed to your table. Evolutionary theory predicts that mankind will continue to evolve. How long, in your estimation, will it take for a distinct new species of humans to emerge? In other words, how long will it take for there to be 2 or more incompatible species of humans? And let me add something to that. Where do you